Hello everybody, welcome back to our Jurgen Klopp recreation of Borussia Dortmund in 2012-2013. Right, so you've only missed 3 games. 2-1 win in the Cup. Game we expected to win, and we did. We beat Carn in a game 4-3. Now, I thought, okay, we played pretty well in possession, but defensively we were terrible again. With a couple of tweaks, after the game, I put the centre-backs to close down less. And the reason was, they were creating a lot of chances, and it was quite often with the centre-back. I was messing around with the defensive line, and the defensive line deeper stopped the balls in behind, which is good. But then what it did is they then play to somebody between our two lines. Our centre-back could run out and create a gap and they'd exploit it. So I thought, well, if I'm going to make the defensive line go back a bit, then we need to fix that problem. So it was like trying to fix that problem first if we could, because the defensive line, although it's very high, I just find it's the best way to recreate them from what I've watched watching the games. Now the problem is the defensive line wasn't really ultra high because of Hummels and Subotic, but it's a real struggle to recreate what the defensive line did and then how to press as aggressively as we can. So in reality, the defense, if I was to recreate it just in tactics create, I probably would say that they were this. They weren't exactly chasing the goalkeeper around everywhere all the time. Probably would be that, but in the match engine, that's more realistic to what they do when you watch the matches. So that's again, we're just factoring in that when we do these little settings here. I did tweak him to being sitting out. Now the only problem I've got is the right hand side. I think is fine. I actually think this side is quite good. He'll stay wide. He'll also come narrow if he needs to now and again. I think this side recreates pretty well. Now, this side's a slight problem. He is not narrow enough early in the possession. So I just feel like he doesn't get involved. I don't know quite why, but he doesn't seem to ever get on the ball. He just seems to, he'll be there. He'll be in the same areas, maybe a tiny bit narrower, but he just won't ever get the ball to his feet. I think the players recognise him as then being screened or marked, and then they go somewhere else. So we could mess around with the width. But let's do this one at a time. Let's try and fix this defensive part first. So we'll just focus on centre-back. So today, the only tweak to the last game that you've seen is, I don't know if we had the goalkeeper defend, but close down less for the 2 centre-backs is the next thing. So we're starting to look, I think, a lot more realistic here, but we'll see how it goes in today's game. Oh, then yeah, the City game. I did rotate a couple of players just as I thought we'd be close in competing with our first team or with a couple of players rotated. And yeah, it wasn't close. So Champions League group looks like that. It's on a knife edge. Bundesliga looks like this. Now, I think Bayern just drew a game at home, so that's really good news for us. And they conceded a couple of goals finally. Really, round of applause, well done. So we're going to play our game today with a chance to get close to them, but we play Leipzig away. So I just feel like the way that it goes is that it makes Bayern drop points when you drop points here. So we're going to probably drop points to Leipzig away from home, but we'll see. 4 pieces of transfer news to bring to you. I offered out our 2 statues, so they've stayed with us. They've helped create the culture of the new players coming in, and they're going to leave in January. They've done their job. Mats Hummels, we are getting £17 million for, so thank you very much to PSG for that. Zagadou, can't wait for him to be gone, and Julian Brandt, we're getting 15 million, but from Napoli, not Bayern. Yes, I like Bayern. They can buy him back if they want in a year, but they can go and spend like 25 million for him, so there we go. To be fair, if he was a starting player for Bayern Munich, I'd be quite happy with that, because I think we're gonna have better players than him in a couple of years. Right, so Daoud is actually injured for this game. So I've had he's been injured for a while, actually. So all those games you saw, he was injured for all of them, I think. So the problem is, if he's out, Bissouma has to be the next best, ball-winning midfielder for us. And then Bellingham's probably the next best box-to-box midfielder. But taking him out of the 10 role, there's nobody else that can play it. Musiala could, but then nobody else can play wide. Kerem here has been awful. 5 starts, 3 sub-appearances, 6.60 average rating. He's just been awful. So the only way around this I can think of is Baku could come in and be our, I guess, a much less technical version of Gundogan. He's got some good mentals. He's pretty quick, but he's not really going to be a Gundogan, is he? He's almost like a utility player like Grosskreutz, somebody having to go in there for one game to do a job, because that's what Borussia Dortmund had to do quite a lot. Is they had a couple of injuries, they didn't have a massive squad. They had a lot of utility players that could do multiple things. So Baku's going to do that for us, and then Joey St. Juice is just going to be our Piszczek, which I don't think is too bad actually. So I think that gives us the best chance of getting a result in this game. So we'll see how things go. Looking good is it after a 5-1 defeat? But the assistant manager says expect better. Yep, I do as well. We're going to watch this game on comprehensive and see how things go here, and just look at some of the stuff that we're seeing. Bellingham's Musiala, surely. Yes! 1-0 to Dortmund. Come on! That's the thing with comprehensive, right? You don't know where it's going to be a goal highlight, so that's good for us. Big Weidenfeller will absolutely smash up the pitch. Big Lewandowski says, I'll have a bit of this, boss. Oh, doesn't even challenge for it. And then that's just perfect, isn't it? It's your Lewandowski into your Götze, your Götze into your Royce. Your Royce says, thank you very much. And Musiala is the only player I trust to be a 2012-13 Royce because he can finish like him as well. He's the only player that I think finishes on their strong foot on the opposite side really well, consistently. I don't trust anybody else in the game, I don't think. I mean, I know that Salah gets through a lot and scores a lot, but he breaks through because of his pace, whereas Musiala doesn't have to break through for his pace to do it. He seems to just naturally have a good finishing ability for it. So the back four there is quite like spread across the pitch. I don't like how spread that. That's part of our issue, is that. And I don't understand why that's happening, because we actually have it on force outside. So when this is happening in real life, there's absolutely no chance while it's building up you want this level of gap across the pitch. There's no way the back four would be there. The right back probably would be around here, if anything, and they'd all be shoved across. But the gaps are just huge in this 4-2-3-1 at the moment. And it's all, and like there, look at this, man. I don't understand it. I don't know how he can fix that. I really don't. Let's go to standard and see if that does fix that. Or look at the spread. Right, I want to go back to this. What did my right back do here? So don't forget, they are playing three at the backs. They're sort of fucking us because our full backs are going to the wingers, the wing backs. That's it's just because it's three at the back. You can see Hazard's got the ball and he's actually just stepped forwards for no apparent reason to engage him. So that's a dangerous situation. Could man mark their wing backs with your wingers in this situation, but I don't want to have to do that every time we play three at the back. Do you know what I mean? Is it to Lodi on the right hand side to Musiala, Musiala to Lodi to Baku, finish it, Baku, oh no. Get on the counter. Oh, they nearly scored. Right, so I think we've seen there, it's nothing to do with the instruction we've got, it's not that. It's the tactic and the system. Right, I want you then to, I guess, let's go closed less on the fullbacks for this. I hear St. Maximin gives the ball away, St. Juice gives it away as well. And they go through the middle to us, don't close him down. Yeah, that's fine. Our post Lodi heads it away. So the whole back four have closed down less often on to try and keep them in position. They got absolutely torn apart. So it's because Akanji goes and presses that ball into... So the ball goes into Forsberg. So really, Baku should be in there screening that, is what he should be doing. And then as it goes in there, he just goes straight in. He's well out of position. He gets played through the other side of... And then he doesn't go with them. He isn't in position to stop the screen, to stop the pass. And they end up with two players into the half space there. So that's really bad. Okay, we need to fix this. We're going to get beat. Okay, I'm going to drop the line of engagement and the defensive line to higher. And just to see if that makes us a little more compact deep in the pitch and stops those gaps appearing as much. Just going to go much higher line of engagement, but with trigger press more often, and see if that gets a better combination of our pressing. I'm just trying to stop the centre backs doing it, because even with press less often and Mark Tight not on, they still seem to go out and they attach themselves too closely. So we'll just try and affect that if we can, without losing the other parts of our defence, which make us good against most teams. So Maximan, Erling Haaland, giving it away. Melody into Baku, Baku to St. Maximan. Dribbles with it, gives it away, gets it back, plays it through. Oh, St. Juice finally gets this. It's a scrappy game. This is just better cross. No, what are you doing? It's just like there. You know what I mean with Musiala right now? So like, as this play develops to like this point here, I probably would want him making a run like forwards and then in, like to beat, so we could then try and get a ball through, rather than going wide and trying to get it to feet. Like, we don't want that from Musiala. A great finish, great assist. I do know what Musiala, that's exactly what Ash did in training. Good lad, 2-0 to Borussia Dortmund. What a bit of tactical play by the manager. 2-0, I love that. Erling Haaland. Come on, boys. Onside. I was about to say stop tapping him. That actually was onside, was a chance. And they've definitely gone to a higher press now because they had all four players trying to press us. This could be a mess for them. Oh, he's at the post. Yeah, you can see the difference. If you look back to the goal kicks earlier in the episode, they had like two players in our back four ready to press. They've now got four, which means they've gone full lock press to try to get back into the game. They probably put the mentality up to attacking or something as well. So this game could be anything now. It might be better for us because I feel like we were struggling before. They had the better chances. They looked more secure. And now this might actually do us a favour. I hope it does. Erling Haaland's won it. They've probably gone shorter passing. Now they're getting caught on the ball as well. So Maximan, Baku, St. Juiced is going to probably have to try and cross this. Does Erling Haaland. St. Juiced, Musiala, header and saved. So Maximan has it, plays it to Baku, loads of space for him there. Baku still has it. I mean, if Erling Haaland would have run in behind, we'd have been through on goal, but he didn't. They have the ball, they go long into Hazard. I mean, what is the right back doing? You've got nobody else to worry about. Nobody. That's your only danger is there. That's your only danger, Baku. No, St. Just. They're getting confused, aren't they? They are looking at the wing back as their man, and these two aren't really reacting to the striker's movement because they're playing two up front with the cam. So, right, I've seen enough now. We need to do something about this. Let's try and go something logical first before we changes the fluid, though. Whatever like that. St. Just, throw into Bellingham to Baku. We work it with an overload. Musiala gets it. Touch Baku. Oh, it's calamitous. When Lodi gets on the far side unmarked, and he gets fouled. Leipzig still have the ball here. They're going to, while they do this, go long. They might do. It's 3B. I don't like that. The central fielders aren't really factoring in the fact that goes long. Like, what they're doing here, the midfielders, is they're all looking to press to stop them playing out. But if they go long, we've got our back four against three players, but the left back's not really doing anything. So really, that's a 3v3. So if it gets headed back in, it's going to get headed back into the spare player. Like, tactically, I mean, I could change a lot for this one game, but I don't know if I want to do that. Do I want to do that? I mean, in real life, you wouldn't just accept it, right? You would not just accept that this is happening. You just can't. You can't. So, I mean, what I would do logically here is, first thing I'd do is this. Is you would do that to have these two, helping out the back four, especially on long goal kicks. And just long kicks generally. They've scored. I don't fucking believe it, man. They break through, left hand side. Crossed, headed, goal. It's like, don't worry about trying to actually stop the opposition do what they're doing. If they're destroying you, just find a way to destroy them more. That's all you got to do. Max, man, I don't think you could have been any more useless if you tried in this match. We'll do that and that, and I think we'll throw on just Reina as a 10. Reina gets it, plays it to St. Just. St. Just has it, plays it to Malin. Malin on the right-hand side to Kanji, come across. Baku, Malin. I'm selling Malin. I hate him. I absolutely hate him with a passion. He's rubbish. It's a draw. Okay, I'm gonna go and calm down. Come back for the Stuttgart game. You could see that every little thing we did to try and stop the obvious tactical errors that were happening. Oh, it doesn't matter. Tell you what, don't go and engage wing backs high. We're going to let them get through anyway, and then we're going to get them to the byline. They're going to whip in this fucking unstoppable cross that Eden Hazard's shitter brother gets on. No, whatever. No, 2-2. All right, see you in a second. Welcome back, everybody. So the tweaks for today's game then is going to be mainly defensively. We're going to have just higher line of engagement, high defensive line, but with everything maxed up for pressing, etc. And the centre backs will remain on closed down less. We'll see how that goes, if it looks any better for the Stuttgart game. Both teams above us did win, so we can't gain any ground in this game. We can only learn from it. This manager says we're favourites for a reason. That does not mean anything. This game will do more like, I think key highlights, because the first one was a lot more of the detail, and this one's more like a Stuttgart at home. Like, we could probably have our tactic really badly wrong. We could still get away with it. Do you know what I mean? So we'll play key highlights in this one and have this as more of a. What's nice is this after the international break, we've got all of our first 11 fully fit, but a lot of our subs are out. That's an own goal. We'll take that 1-0. They're playing a similar formation to Leipzig. I'm just pleased we don't have to play Leipzig away from him again. I'm just pleased we don't have to play Leipzig away from him again, to be honest. Oh, it's 2-0. I thought it was going to be disallowed for offside or something. Set piece, headed across again, and Musiala heads it in for 2-0. Free kick whipped in far post. It's going to be a penalty. Erling Haaland makes it 3-0. We can't learn too much from this game. Corner's whipped in, it's cleared. Lodi to Basuma. Basuma to Baku. Baku whips in far post. Jamal Musiala, that should be onside. This could be 4-0. And it is. He just held his width a little bit in on the outside of the back line and then moved in like a good inside forwards. And yeah, makes it 4-0. I'm happy so far. What's frustrating is against Leipzig, it's like if I would have ignored those defensive problems when we went 2-0 up, it's like I don't think we would have lost the game, because I think all the chances they were creating, they'd already thrown all of those at us. And I think the more aggressive they got, and we'd have stayed just really aggressive, we would have got them on the break and we would have beaten them. But it's like we knew that's a clear tactical problem against a back three. So it was like a case of me trying to figure out a solution to it there and then. But in reality, I could have just left it the same way and probably would have won the game. So that's what's annoying me a little bit in retrospect. And oh, by the way, Julian Brandt, I did sell him. I did sell him to Bayern. Now, the reason is, as Haaland makes it not 5, the reason is, like I said before earlier in the episode, like if he was a starting player for Bayern Munich, that's a good thing for us because they could have much better players than that. So if it's something to do with his player reputation, his current ability or something, like I hope they do have him. Like take him. It's great if they use him because he's not very good. And I think it's a good thing for us. Now, we know for a while that he's going to end up scoring against us at some point. I do think that's a good thing for us. So I decided to let him go to them for like, I think it's 14 million all up front, which we will invest into at least one player. So yeah, in hindsight, I wasn't too bothered about it. Marco Reus is upset about his playing time, but he'll go for free at the end of the season anyway. So he's the only player I'm not going to sell. Like from that team all those years ago, he's going to be the one that remains all the way through to the end of this first season. At the end of this first season, there'll be none of them left, which is where it becomes like our team, recreating that team. I mean, like we had Busquets in the Barca so far. They scored. We only had him for like a month or so though, because he was sold. Whipped in, it's cleared. Renan Lodi to Akanji, to Royce. Royce plays to Musiala, to Reina. Gets a shot away. Oh, what a finish. I want to see this goal. This must have been an unbelievable strike. It's put in by Royce here. They clear it. Reina takes it. One touch. Strike. What a finish. 5-1. They've had a fairly decent XG for a team we're expected to smash at home, so I don't think this tweak's really happened. I think we just got lucky as we scored early. 5-1 victory for Borussia Dortmund. Well done, lads. That was a good one for us. Go through, I think, or be knocked out in the next game. We could, actually, but we may not. Like, it's not guaranteed, so because of that, I think we'll definitely come back for Bayern and Porto. I'll see what happens. If we do somehow conclude that we're definitely through against Milan, we'll come back, I think, for Wolfsburg and Bayern, because that's 2 league matches that are important. If it goes down to the final game against Porto, though, we'll do Bayern and Porto. So we won't skip too many games here. You'll be straight back with us to see these tweaks. I'm not liking the fact that we're tweaking going into this Bayern game. If I'm not satisfied with the tweaks, we will go right back to the original 4-lock pressing tactics here for the Bayern game, because that's important. We can't afford to mess around with that. So we'll see how things go, but we need to try and win this game against Milan as well off camera. But yeah, I'm not feeling that confident going into these games because I'm not settled on the tactic. We still need to figure out his role eventually, but I want to sort of try and get this sorted first. Then we'll look at this afterwards. Because he's at least doing his job. Like he does go narrow, he doesn't go narrow a little, quite early enough. But the Henry role held loads of width, but it still wasn't quite good enough on getting on that last defender, but it was as good as we could get it. So I am happy that if what he does is as close as we can get to Royce, I'm happy with that. I'm happy enough with that. But I just want to, I haven't really stress tested it in every possible way yet. That's why I still want to look at it and see if we can improve it first before we say, okay, that's as close as we could get, sort of thing. So yeah, that's going to do the episode. Hope you're enjoying the series still. We're slowly getting there. It's a bit different to the Pep one because we've already started off with a good base tactic, so we're sort of doing isolated testing and tweaking from a smaller point of view. But yeah, that's going to do the episode. Thank you very much for watching. And before we go then, we've now got 61 million for January that we can spend. And that's with, let's drop it down to 56. And that's going to be with 100, another 100 from Brandt. I think with about 300 grand in wages with everybody leaving, maybe even 350 grand with everybody leaving. So a lot of money to spend in January if we need to go and get some players. But for now, that's going to be the episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.